U.S. Office of Personnel Management data breach. No routine hack. This is case number 8 from chapter 8. Now, to introduce it, I'm just going to start off by saying the U.S. Office of Personnel Management, also OPM, is responsible for recruiting and retaining a world-class workforce to serve the American people. And they're also responsible for background investigations on prospective employees and security clearances. They found out about a data breach on their system in 2015, and it went down as one of the largest breaches of data in U.S. history. This breach was due to outdated technology and weak security on data. Now, when this breach happened in 2015, it was the number of stolen records was 21.5 million. So you have 21.5 million people that have information that was stolen from them that was supposed to be secured. Personally identifiable information such as social security numbers, as well as names, dates, places of birth, addresses, things like that were all stolen in this breach. Now, for the first question, list and describe the security and control weaknesses at OPM. Well, OPM had deficiencies in information system security program. Their security authorization packages were incomplete. Their information security controls was weak. They had inaccurate plan of action and milestones. They were not prepared for this thing to happen and did not think to prepare for it until it happened. There was an absence of mechanisms to detect outside intrusions. So even when all this was going on, the stealing of information, they had nothing in place to actually know what was going on. It was just happening right under their noses. And there was inadequate encryption, which made it easy for the hacker to steal all of this information. And there was no one in charge of network security. There wasn't one person at OPM that their main job was cybersecurity and security of information. That's just ridiculous. There's many other security and control weaknesses. There's plenty more. To continue on, OPM lacked an effective multi-factor authentication strategy, and they had weak management of user rights, inadequate monitoring of multiple systems, many unpatched computers, and a decentralized and ineffective cybersecurity function. What factors contributed to this problem and how was management responsible? Well, OPM lacked leadership and accountability when it comes to management. I think is one of the main reasons why this security threat happened. They're the type of organization that has all their senior advisors as managers at the top. They're top heavy, and there was no one appointed as a manager of security. Any of the managers were politically appointed, so it wasn't like gave the job because they knew a lot about cybersecurity. They were just given the job based on politics. And OPM has no one that appreciates cybersecurity in order to set effective controls for the company. They didn't have anyone in place that actually knew the threats that could happen. To continue on, management was simply the reason why they had poor IT management. I think not to say that this couldn't have possibly happened if they had good management of security, but it was just they're lackluster in their approach to security, and that's why all this happened. What was the impact of this hack? Well, first and foremost, the security threats was a huge impact. There was so much information that was in the wrong hands of this Chinese hacker, and there was 5.5 million sets of fingerprints that were leaked. and this can compromise secret agents in the field that have changed their name but have these fingerprints that now is out in the world. And there was also lawsuits from the victims that got their information stolen. They set out lawsuits to the people that were responsible for poor security. And now there's a massive effort to fix this poor security. Before this happened, the budget for IT was 31 million and it went up to 87 million. And that's just 2016. It's supposed to go up a few more million. They're just going to keep pouring money into security until they get it right. Is there a solution to this problem? Well, one of the solutions could be hiring people with better knowledge and respect for security. Simple as that. If you hire the right people that put in the effort, put in the knowledge to make their company more secured and all this data more securely put away and not in the hands of hackers, then that can definitely be a solution. Actually dedicating positions solely for protection of cyber attacks and threats is important. And just learning your lesson. I mean, you get hacked, all this information is leaked. All right, you learn from that. You go on, you get better. In conclusion, cyber threats are very real and a dangerous thing. And OPM learned the hard way, but cybersecurity must improve, not just for OPM, but for all companies around the U.S. that store sensitive data that can compromise millions of people. With the increased budget for security, the U.S. is taking the right steps to ensure our cyber safety and the information of millions of people do not get into the wrong hands. Now, some questions I have for you guys is, why does computer security failure still exist even with our increased budget on security? Well, I mean, I think nothing's perfect. There's always going to be people out there trying to get the best of you, and as we're trying to protect our information, we're trying to get better at protecting encryption, all that. There are other people out there that are doing the same thing. They're constantly getting better at stealing information. So just got to keep up with technology and keep up with security. And do the people that failed at providing security to millions of people's information still deserve their job? I think it really depends. When you go into a job and you're not told that your security is not really on the top of your list as a company, and then you have people that are taking the blame for this hack happening, I think that maybe these people can learn from their mistakes as well. I don't think it's necessarily their fault. I just think once something bad happens, that's when people open their eyes. Thank you.